Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. It's Monday at 8 o'clock. And here we are. We're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? We're talking about overcoming emotional overeating. And I'm looking forward to a few people coming on. I know a few people will, and others will watch the replay. So I am Shoshana Rychek, Healthy Lifestyle Advocate. I developed a new program called Flip the Weight Loss Switch, and it works with the subconscious mind. So today we're going to talk about overcoming emotional overeating and finding ways to get around that so that that's not part of our current life. Hi, Dorothy. So glad you could be here. I know a couple more people are coming on, so thank you. And Dorothy's like the last person that needs to worry about overcoming emotional overeating, but she's a dear friend, and you never know who she knows that might need the help. So Dorothy, I always appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I'm just going to wait about a minute, and because I knew a few people that were going to get on. So again, I'm Shoshana Rychek. Oh, hi, Trish. Look at that. I got great friends. So Trish, I'm so glad you're here. Did you know what I was going to talk about tonight, or are you just hopping on? Trish, you've done a great job getting yourself in shape. All right, well, we'll get started. It's a little bit after. I know a few other people were going to come on, but it sometimes takes a minute to figure out where to go and how to find it. So, Shoshana Rychek here, and the program that I have developed is called Flip the Weight Loss Switch because I work with the subconscious. But today, I really want to talk about emotional overeating. And there are various emotions that drive us, and if there's one that anybody wants to put in the chat, you're welcome to do that. But there are various emotions that drive us to this overeating, and I was a compulsive overeater. I've also overcome bulimia, and that was a long time ago, but I did have it and different levels of it. And the compulsive overeating I had until about 10 years ago. So you don't forget these things. And when I think back, and even to this day, even though now subconsciously I'm programmed to do things differently, when I'm tired, that is when I want to eat the most, when I'm tired. That's my thing. And I know everybody has their own things. Sometimes it's when, hi sis. Sometimes it's in Debbie's here. I haven't seen Deb in a while. Hey, Deb. And so sometimes it's like, you're feeling sad about something, or you're feeling lonely about and I've had that too, in different parts of my life, feeling lonely or feeling bored and just, piddling around in the kitchen, or just being afraid of something that's coming up in life, or an activity that I'm nervous to attack. Or maybe like Suzanne approaching retirement, but I don't think she's afraid of that. No, I don't think she's afraid of that at all. She's earned that. Or some kind of an anxiety. So we all have all of these feelings. These are normal feelings, and we're going to have these feelings coming and going for the rest of our lives. But do they drive us to overeating because we're looking for something more soothing? Is that what's happening? Are they driving us to overeating because we're escaping the feelings that we have? I think for me, a long time ago, it was more to overeat and then be tired and then kind of be in some sort of a food coma. And that totally took me out of whatever feeling I had before, and it would make me rest. But I think my thing was always feeling tired. So that's how I got myself to rest. Well, now I've learned how to just take a few deep breaths. And so that's, these lives aren't very long, so I'm going to give you my secrets, and I don't have to draw it out, right? So I learned how to take a few deep breaths and just catch myself and say, okay, if I really do go in the kitchen right now, and if I eat whatever I may come across, it's almost like a tornado, you're like, go to the refrigerator, to the cabinet, back to the refrigerator, back to the cabinet. Who knows? When you're a compulsive overeater, that is what happens. So, if you can just slow down for a couple of breaths and say, how will I feel if I do that? What is that going to make me feel like? Most of the time it's not very good. And I'm not talking about even the guilt and the shame that goes with it. I'm talking about physically feeling like crap. And nobody wants to feel like crap. So take those deep breaths and think, okay, what else could I possibly do that's going to get me out of this? For some, it might be watching a movie. For me, it's literally putting my feet up and getting cozy and just closing my eyes for 10 or 15 minutes and taking a rest. Some people, it's just hard for them to slow down and stop, so we eat to help us slow down and stop. Or for some people, we're procrastinating something. But the truth is, if we're going to waste time in the kitchen anyways, or wherever the food stash is, maybe it's in the garage, maybe it's in the attic, maybe it's in the bedroom. Oh, yay, Suzanne walked today. Good job. Now that she's retired, she can really get on a good cycle. Good for you, Suzanne. So you have to think about, what are the things that I could be doing if I'm going to waste the time and then feel like crap? What could I do that's going to help me feel better? And then if I still want to eat something, fine. But at least I've taken the time to stop myself and stop that behavioral, that habit, and try something else. So Suzanne went for a walk. You could watch a movie. You could, for me, take a nap. You could call a friend. I used to have a to-do list. In my notes in between marriages when I would feel lonely on certain times. And the to-do list were all the things that I enjoyed doing, whether it was indoors or outdoors. And that's the list that I would pull up because I knew I didn't want to feel worse. So that's the whole point of what I like to work with is, to that we get ourselves aware and mindful of how are we feeling, what's going on, and what can we do to make ourselves feel better, not worse. So I don't know if any of you in here have any strategies that you use. Suzanne, were you feeling something in particular, or you just went out for a walk because you could? Because it's Monday and you can. That's what I'm wondering. And I want to let everybody know to please check out my website. There's a free workbook you can download, and it's called, the website is fliptheweightlosswitch.com. And you can just go there and download the free booklet. And then if you want my help, I'll be here to help you. If you don't want my help, you don't have to have my help. But every Monday night at 8 o'clock, I do this little live, and it's short and it's sweet, and I give a hint or a tip every week to help people sort of come together and break some of these behavioral things because they're damaging to us. They don't make us feel good. It's self-sabotaging. It's not what we want to do. So there are so many things that I think of. How did I get here? How have I been able to maintain this weight loss for 10 years now? Why is it that I'm sort of on autopilot and it's pretty effortless? I'm aware of what I'm doing. I know what I'm eating. I know what I'm not eating. And I know sometimes I'll overeat a little bit, but I balance it out. There's like a built-in, sort of this built-in mechanism that helps me stay balanced. And Suzanne has walking on her list of things to do. Good job. That's exactly right. And you're going to have a list now that you're retired. You're going to have a great list of things that you enjoy doing so that you're moving. And moving our bodies it's just so important to move. And you've all heard me say protein. Protein's so important. Eat that protein. And I've recently learned, and maybe you knew this forever, but Drinking water even helps your metabolism. So eating protein is good for your metabolism. Drinking water is good for your metabolism. It's so simple. So doing things like moving and drinking water and eating protein, those are great for you. And if you got to eat something, make sure it's protein so it stays with you for a while. What other tricks do you guys have, Suzanne or Debbie? Trish. Trish is always on the go. Trish lives here in Charleston, and she has this gorgeous dog, Holly, and she is always on the go. She goes to beaches and parks, and she camps out, and she's amazing. And she's learned how to look her up on Facebook, Patricia Chanel. She's right here. Look her up. Tell her you're my friend. And she was, I met her some years ago on the beach here. And the way I met her is I said, hey, I said, what do you do to stay so healthy or fit or something like that? And she turned around like, who, me? You know, and that's how we became friends, because she just looked so fit, and I was impressed. But she's always out and about. She takes really good care of herself, and she takes beautiful photos, was the point too. You know, friend her on Facebook and look at some of her photos. They're gorgeous, sunsets and beaches and nature, really terrific. So did anybody answer me anything? Let's see. Nope, nobody said what else they're doing to help themselves. So I'm not just going to talk. Dorothy, I know you have suggestions. Dorothy eats just a little bit at a time. That's what I know about Dorothy. And so no matter what she wants, it doesn't matter, because it's just going to be a little bit at a time. I've known Dorothy pretty much my whole life. And Debbie I've known my whole life. And Debbie somehow seems to be able to manage it too. So, you know, we're all buddies here, and I love these girls for supporting me. Thank you very much. But if you don't have anything to add to my talk today, I'm not going to stay here. Let's see. She thought I was hitting on her. You're right, Deb. You know, I have that kind of part of me, right? Yeah. Go meet Trish. She's really great. She's actually from, is it Chelsea? Where my mother worked in Chelsea. Chelsea? Maybe. But yeah, she's from Boston, and she's got her accent's calming down. She talks a little bit slower. She talks a little bit softer. So yeah, when we first met, I had already been here a while, and she was like hot off the press, you know, type A, coming from Boston. Trish was a nurse, and she's a retired nurse, so she gets to do what she wants now. So Suzanne, you could talk to Trish and find out all the things she's doing to help you with some ideas of what to do and meeting people. So cool. All right, let's see. Anybody else have anything? Dorothy keeps active outdoors, walking, biking, jogging. Yeah, outdoors is really the best, getting that fresh air. Speaking of fresh air, oh, hi, Dale. You can watch the replay. Dale was out walking 4 miles. Good job, Dale. So speaking of outdoors, we have an outdoor shower that I've posted about before, and Kenny recently put screen above it, so it's really cool. Like, you know how the Florida homes have the screened-in pools and all that? So we have a screen around the top of our outdoor shower, because there were these horseflies that were coming in, like diving in and getting us, and we've had to keep this spray around to keep them from hitting us. So now we've got a screen. So after he put the screen up, we had our first time ever where there was a big black snake on the Trex getting some sun because it was safe. So the snake ran away, and that was a good thing. But yeah, we're all covered from the bugs now too. It's pretty exciting. So does anybody else, Dale, what do you do? One bit your butt. Yes, it did. Dale, what do you do? What's your thing to do when you're feeling like maybe lonely or sad or anxious or tired or bored and you don't want to eat? What is something that you do to kind of give yourself, use the time differently? What do you do? Anybody can answer this. How do you use your time differently? It's a conscious decision, but the truth is, the way neuroscience works, the more you make a conscious decision to do something differently, it will become automated. And it will become like autopilot, and it will almost become effortless because you create new behaviors and habits. So I'm just looking to see if anybody else wrote anything. No? So friends and daughter, thank you for joining me. The beginning it's a brief talk today. It's very brief. It's about being aware of where your emotions are at and having a list of options that you can do. Okay, Dale says calling a friend, or me, choosing to get up. Don't continue to sit. Yep, fresh air. Fresh air, as we've talked about today, is really important. Yep. So thank you, Dale and Suzanne and Trish and Debbie and Dorothy. And I think I got everybody on here. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who watches the replay. This was a short one and a lot of side talk, but you know what? Sometimes you need a little side talk to let what you just heard sink in. Okay, and Tina just got on. Tina missed it, and maybe, I don't know, maybe she's been on. I don't know. She'll call me. Tina's my friend for many, many moons. Love her dearly. She moved away to India, and now she's back. So I'm very excited. And I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you next Monday. If there's something that you want me to talk about next Monday that you think is affecting people's overeating or eating habits or unable to lose weight, I think I might go back to talking about toxins and how that affects through obesogens. That might be a good thing. Oh, Tina's been on. Awesome, Tina. Cool. Yeah, so maybe I'll talk about that some next week. But if there's something that you guys want to hear about, something that you're wondering about, something you want me to research, just ask. Especially if it has to do with neuroscience and the subconscious mind and how we can empower our minds with other thoughts and change our behaviors. So lots of love and have a great week. I will see you next week.